What if the man who dragged Manchester United into the 1999 Champions League final never missed it? What if Roy Keane had played in Barcelona? That's the paradox. Roy Keane produced one of the greatest individual midfield performances of all time in Turin, inspiring United's comeback against Juventus. But because of a yellow card, he wasn't on the pitch for the final. United still pulled off the most dramatic ending in Champions League history, without their captain. So the question is simple but fascinating. Would Keane's presence have made it easier, or could it have changed destiny itself? Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe for more football deep dives like this. The context. To grasp the weight of Keane's absence, rewind to the 1999 semi-final in Turin. Juventus, packed with Zidane, Davids, and Deschamps, stormed 2-0 ahead within 10 minutes. Most teams would have folded. Keane didn't. He dragged United forward, snapping into tackles, demanding the ball, and heading the goal that sparked the comeback. Then tragedy. Chasing Zidane, he clipped him, earning the yellow card that meant suspension from the final. No protests, just focus. He played even harder. But with Paul Scholes also suspended, United lost both midfield engines for the club's biggest night. Keane's sacrifice defined him, yet deepened United's problem. The reality. So what did the final look like without them? United lined up with David Beckham pushed inside into central midfield, alongside Nicky Butt. Jesper Blomqvist started on the left, with Giggs shifted to the right. Up front, of course, were York and Cole. On paper, it worked. In reality, it was rough. Bayern Munich's midfield was a nightmare to deal with. Effenberg, Basler, and Jeremies were physical, disciplined, and relentless. United couldn't find their usual rhythm. Blomqvist struggled. Giggs looked uncomfortable wide right. Beckham, though tireless, didn't have Keane's authority to dictate tempo. Bayern took an early lead, and for 89 minutes they looked destined to win. United were second best in almost every department. And then, the chaos. Sheringham, Solskjaer, 2 goals in injury time. The most famous comeback in football. United lifted the trophy, completed the treble, and Keane, though absent, remained central to the story. But let's play with history for a second. The sliding door. Here's where it gets fascinating. Scenario A. Keane plays, and United dominate. With his leadership, United's midfield probably handles Bayern's physicality far better. Maybe they don't concede so much territory. Maybe they nick an equalizer earlier. Perhaps it turns into a more controlled, less chaotic United win. Scenario B. Keane plays, but Ferguson reshuffles differently. If Keane and Butt play centrally, Beckham almost certainly stays wide right. That means Giggs stays left. Blomqvist is dropped. On paper, this looks stronger. But without Beckham drifting centrally, does he still deliver those 2 decisive late corners? The very set pieces that led to Sheringham and Solskjaer's goals? Fate might have required Beckham in the middle. Scenario C. Keane plays, Bayern adapt. Keane was a master of controlling games. But what if his dominance forced Bayern to change gears earlier? Maybe Hitzfeld counters with tactical switches that deny United those desperate late opportunities. The match could have been completely different. This is the paradox. Keane's absence created the perfect storm. A weakened midfield forced United to chase, to gamble, to throw everything forward. That chaos is what Bayern couldn't handle in stoppage time. The legacy question. And that brings us to the legacy. Keane's legend isn't built on that final in Barcelona. It's built on Turin. That single performance carrying his team on his shoulders, knowing he wouldn't taste the reward himself. It's Shakespearean. Heroism mixed with tragedy. If he had played and United had won more comfortably, would we still talk about Turin with such reverence? Would the final still hold its mythical place in football history? Or did fate need Keane to be absent, to make the story greater than the sum of its parts? It's strange to say, but perhaps United's triumph was bigger because he wasn't there. His shadow loomed over everything. The victory wasn't just for the players on the pitch, it was for their captain watching helplessly from the stands. So here's the irony. Manchester United pulled off the greatest comeback in Champions League history without their captain, but his fingerprints were all over it. Would Roy Keane have made the difference? Or was fate already written that night in Barcelona? Let us know your take in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dive football.